Prime Minister faces an uphill battle to win unanimous support from state premiers for her government's overhaul of school funding.
Julia Gillard's vowed to push ahead with the changes regardless with the states that do sign on. Let's go live to Canberra and Sky News Chief Political Reporter Kieran Gilbert. Kieran, good morning.
Michael, good morning. Morning, Brooke. The two states that look most problematic for the Prime Minister in getting this unanimous support are WA and Queensland. Queensland saying, where's the money coming from, given the tight state coffers and also the tight fiscal situation federally. WA saying they're not going to get enough. Just $300 million slated for WA over the next 6 years, as opposed to $5 billion for New South Wales, for example. So Colin Barnett says he's not going to sign on. The Prime Minister was asked this morning, will any state actually be worse off in under the new arrangement, this response to the Gonski proposals? The Prime Minister was on the Nine Network.
Absolutely not, no. Every state is going to see more money for schools in that state on the basis that we're putting in $2 for everyone coming from states. So everybody gets more money. Now, in terms of how much more money for each state, Carl, states are in different positions. And the aim of this is that every school around the country has the resources it needs to get the kids a great education. Some states have got further to go than others. That's undoubtedly true. WA is rightly proud of its education system, but there is more we can do there. There is $300 million more we can do there.
Now, the states have until June 30 to sign on. The COAG talks will be held on Friday. The Prime Minister might need every one of those weeks leading into June 30 to get those other states on board, but at this stage it looks very unlikely WA will agree, and Queensland as well has been critical. If the PM doesn't get unanimous support, she says she's willing to sign on one-on-one deals with each of the states, those that are more sympathetic to the government's new funding model. I put that possibility to Christopher Pyne this morning, the opposition spokesman, given that he, according to the polls, is most likely to be minister post-September. This is what he had to say.
It would be absolutely irresponsible of the Prime Minister to proceed with a new school funding model after Friday's COAG meeting if all the states and territories don't agree to it. You couldn't have a system in Australia which now has a national curriculum. Much of our school funding model is national. There has been since 2000 a national uniform school funding model. It would be ridiculous for different states to have different models based on Commonwealth funding. If the Prime Minister thinks that is viable, then she really has lost it.
Christopher Pyne, the full interview again on AM Agenda at 8:30. Also joining me will be Peter Garrett, the school's Education Minister. Peter Garrett at 8:30 this morning.
And Kieran, some bad news in the polls for the government this morning, the latest Nielsen poll.
There were some in Labor that had hoped that I suppose the vast majority of within Labor hoping, some had the sense that with the PM having some clear air post the leadership debacle that things might turn around. Well, not just yet, and not even after what was a pretty good week last week with the PM's historic deal in China. The primary vote just 29% in the Nielsen poll. It's the first time it's been that low since June last year. On a two-party comparison, it doesn't get much better, 43-57, and on preferred PM comparison, Julia Gillard trailing and quite a margin there now to Tony Abbott.
All right, Kieran Gilbert in Canberra. Good talking to you, Kieran. Thank you.